With the unstoppable rise of the Pokemon franchise, also comes the ever-growing collection of monster taming games that have looked to expand on the base formula. Games like Koromon, Temtem, and Cassette Beasts have all become popular names to many hardcore Pokemon fans, who might have just felt a little bored of Game Freak's desire to truly shake up the formula. But in this video, I'm going to be taking a look at an upcoming game called Dokimon, a retro but comfortable monster tamer filled with a ton of surprises. Now, I will start by saying that despite this being a sponsored video, I am allowed to speak from 100% of my own opinion. So everything I say here will be a reflection of my personal experience with the game, and not anything someone else asked me to say. So without further ado, let's take a look at Dokimon. To start, this is a game where you travel across a region while capturing and training different monsters. When you begin your save file, you'll be greeted with a selection screen where you can choose between 9 different playable characters. The region is filled with a ton of interesting areas that contrast each other very well, with different ways to explore them. There are a total of 15 towns with a lot of routes, caves, forests, and other points of interest in between them. Something worth mentioning that I noticed while exploring and backtracking was the lack of tall grass. One of my biggest pet peeves in monster taming games is the amount of time I spend waiting for the wild encounter animation to finish, just so I can hit the run away button. In Dokimon, however, that was never really something I had to worry about. Next, I'm sure you're of course interested in the actual Dokimon themselves. There are over 130 of them to capture, across 13 different types. They can all evolve, learn a variety of different moves, and have more than one type. You can use items called capsules, which very much resemble cards, to capture Dokimon you find in the wild. But what's important are the things that actually separate this game from other monster tamer titles, and of course, Pokemon itself. The first major difference is the pacing. Instead of spending 30 minutes in a cutscene-filled tutorial, or forced to travel to the first town and back before being able to actually start your journey, it only took about 5 minutes for me to receive my starter and capture devices, and then begin my adventure. Additionally, battles don't feel slow at all, as you can just hold down the spacebar or enter key to speed up animations. I also noticed that a lot of smaller systems, like saving the game and transitioning maps, also feel a lot quicker and smoother. But the biggest thing that separated Dokimon from other monster taming experiences was the quality of life. Moves can be relearned freely right from the summary screen, and this game's version of EVs can also be edited in the same place. Your PC can also be accessed from the pause menu, so no more running back and forth whenever you want to swap a team member. Finally, in the options menu, you can choose to play with a piano soundtrack or an 8-bit music style. You can also swap the game's color palette if you'd like a more retro look. While that pretty much wraps up what I have to say about Dokimon, this game was created using something called the Mon-tamer maker, or Mon-may for short. While I wasn't able to get my hands on the engine myself, from the looks of it, it seems like a fairly simple tool that allows you to create monster tamer games. If you're interested in either wishlisting Dokimon on Steam or checking out Mon-may, I'll leave a link to both down below. Like I said before, this video was entirely from my own opinion, but thank you anyways to Dokimon for sponsoring this video, and I hope you all have a nice rest of your day.